A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you, amazing and beautiful people out there. Today we are going to talk about Sita Ji, the divine feminine, the Cardinal Twinflame Guru. Sita, who's the wife of Lord Sri Ram. In this session, I'm going to be talking about the time that Sita spent in Lanka. How many years did Sita stay in Lanka was this interesting question asked by someone on Quora. And Shubhashri Nayak gave a wonderful reply that inspired me to share it with all of you all. Although we all know the story of Ramayana, most of us pretty much know it. In the world outside Indian subcontinent also, there are many countries who follow the Ramayana and they work on their solar plexus, which is considered to be the most important chakra. Listening to Ramayana and its stories, chapters, and incidents gives people extreme feeling of peace. A lot of people find it very interesting and keep going back to it over and over again. This story must spread in the Western world also, so that they can enjoy and learn at the same time. They can enhance their inner work by listening to Ramayana, because Sita Ji is the divine feminine and Sri Ram is the divine masculine, but they are completely healed, they are completely pure, and they are in their avatar selves. The avatars also come from a couple called Lakshmi and Vishnu. Vishnu's many names are there. Narayan is also one of his popular name. He is also known as Lakshmi Narayan, which means that he is the husband of Lakshmi. Not only her husband is her equal partner, but he is also submissive to her in a very respectful and loving manner. He stands by her, he believes in her, he knows because she is the great Lakshmi, she is the wife of the protector of this planet and also the preserver of this planet. The role of protector is given to him because in order to preserve, you also have to protect. So he takes births as Ram, Krishna. There are other avatars also. Vishnu as Ram and Lakshmi as Sita. The ascended masters reincarnate various times on planet Earth in order to help in the preservation and protection. So that's their main job, to preserve and protect, and that's their mission and that's their natural, inherent role. They are Swayambhus, which means they are self-created, self-born. They did not take birth via the biological reproduction system. Whereas when they get reincarnated on planet Earth, many a times it is seen that they are either EBs or their birth is orchestrated by divine beings. And this happens in the case of both Ram and Sita. Their birth is a little bit unusual, but at the same time, they are seen in the biological form as babies, then they grow up into teenagers, they reach youth, and so on and so forth. So after their marriage, Sita and Ram with Lakshman were living in the forest in exile. This was a total of 14 years. This duration was allocated to Lord Sri Ram for his exile, which means he was only personally supposed to do it as an individual. But Sita and Lakshman joined in because Sita said that I'm your wife, I'm supposed to be your shadow, we're supposed to be together. So obviously during exile also I'm going to be with you. And then Lakshman says that I cannot let you both go like this, unprotected, you might need me. I would be serving you. I am your brother, but I'm going to be serving you for the next 14 years. I will serve you for life, my brother. Lakshman had so much love for Ram, and they are also connected in their higher selves, in the highest selves. Vishnu is Ram, and Sheshnag, who is the animal companion of Vishnu, is born as Lakshman. They have the same father, but two different mothers give them birth. But that did not have any impact on their relationship. So both of them joined in. During this time, 13 years were passed by them in the forest. They changed the locations, but it was a lovely time. It was not easy, but they were all divine beings, all three of them. So they learned and then already gotten educated in nature. Sita was born from earth. She did not appear via the womb. She was simply found from earth. her father Janak had dug her out with a golden plowshare. And for Sri Ram and his 3 brothers, they were born via a yajna. And in that yajna, a divine being had appeared, and he had offered, in some stories, rice porridge, rice and milk pudding. And in some stories, they say that the queens were given mangoes to eat. Anyway, after 13 years had passed in the forest, Mother Sita was stolen by Ravan. The search for Mother Sita then began, and when Sri Ram had fought Ravan, he went back to Ayodhya. The story is, when I expand a little bit, after Mother Sita was kidnapped, Lord Sri Ram encountered Jatayu. Jatayu was from the bird kingdom, and he was also extremely powerful. Later, he ran into Kaban the demon, who gave him Shabri's address. And from Shabri, they met Sugriv. Sugriv was encountered by Lord Sri Ram, who gave him back his stolen kingdom of Kishkinda. So Sri Ram gave Sugriv the stolen kingdom of Kishkinda. Before they met Sugriv, they met Hanuman. And it was Hanuman who then introduced him, both the brothers, to Sugriv. Sri Ram decided it was suitable to search for Mother Sita 4 months after delivering the kingdom of Kishkinda to Sugriv, because by then the rainy season had begun. Now I am telling you about all of these characters, but I am going to expand these characters, so remember their names: Sugriv, Shabri, Jatayu, the story of Kaban the demon. Kishkinda was where Sugriv used to rule. So these are places. Kishkinda is a place, Lanka is a place, Ayodhya is a place. It would have been quite challenging for the monkey army to locate Mother Sita in such difficult circumstances, since during the rainy season, the river drains are in flow. He therefore believed it was appropriate to begin the search for Mother Sita following the conclusion of the rainy season. So basically, there was a deal, a pact was set in between Sugriv and Lord Sri Ram. And that's why the monkeys come in the picture, because Sugriv was half monkey, half human. And most of the other people also were like that. So he could command the monkeys, and the monkeys literally were his soldiers, his warriors. And also Lord Sri Ram was very close to nature. He loved animals a lot. And he always believed that animals are not materialistic like the humans. They are more loyal. So therefore he was also very happy to have found an army of animals to help him bring back his wife Sita, his beloved wife Sita. The hunt for Mother Sita began after a period of 4 months, and Hanuman discovered Mother Sita among the troop of monkeys dispatched to the south. Following this, Lord Sri Ram and entire Sugriv monkey army arrived in Rameshwaram at a location called Dhanushkodi. Now these places, some of these places, you can go and travel and you can visit these places also. Dhanushkodi, and you can go to Rameshwaram. You can even go to Sri Lanka if you want to. I recently visited Ayodhya and I was so excited. I cannot even tell you guys what I was feeling in Ayodhya. It was a very different feeling, and it stayed on for all the number of days I was there, and even when I came back. When I came back, I just wanted to rest, because I didn't want to get out of the vibe of Ayodhya. I wanted to keep it with me, because the vibe of Ayodhya is just something else. Just something else. The boat ride in Saryu River is just wonderful. Something you must explore, and I will share all of these vlogs with you. So please subscribe to my channel, the Sunamoon Vlogs. I would be sharing all of these wonderful stories of travel and what all we learn in these divine places. These are all divine places, you know. They have this divine energy over there, and you can feel that energy. So after Rameshwaram, at the location called Dhanushkodi, the monkey army, the bear army, they were all together, you know. And even the birds were there with them. A bridge was made of 100 yojanas. This was constructed, which allowed the monkey army to go all the way to Lanka. Now let me explain to you what is 1 yojan. This bridge is of 100 yojanas. I'll explain to you the calculation of 1 yojan, okay? So this is the old way in India, which was a system through which they would decide the distance in yojanas. Basically, this is the unit of distance which date back to ancient India. It's like a unit, okay, which is set to measure to 1 yojan. And this 1 yojan is about 8 miles. 12.8 kilometers is 8 miles. So 1 yojan is 12.8 kilometers. Okay. Now this bridge is 100 yojanas. So if you multiply, this is a huge bridge. It's literally 1280 kilometers as per this calculation. It is 100 meters wide and up to 10 meters in depth. And it floats. Yes, it is made from the floating stones. So imagine the technology with which they made construction happen. They are not ruining the nature, they are not disturbing environment, and yet they have constructed this wonderful bridge which still exists. After thousands of years, it still exists. Now obviously after so many years, the whole bridge is not standing the way it was. There were many natural calamities that also had an impact on it. There was a cyclone in 1480 which affected the Ram Setu badly. So little bit of it is still left and the rest is submerged in water. Now following this sea passage, Lord Sri Ram's army engaged Ravana's evil army in a bloody combat. This resulted in Ravana's demise. After that, Lord Sri Ram released Mother Sita from Ashok Vatika and crowned Vibhishan, who was the brother of Ravan, the new king of Lanka. After Mother Sita was set free, Lord Sri Ram arrived in Ayodhya and he sat in the same Pushpak Viman that Ravan used to fly. He, with everyone, marked the end of this 14-year exile. There is a story of Pushpak Viman also, but I'll dedicate another video for that. So this indicates that Mother Sita was only in Lanka for a year or less. In the Padma Puran, on the other hand, it specifies the length of Mother Sita's sojourn in Lanka, stating that she was there for a total of 11 months and 14 days. So you have to think that with all the divine powers, when Sita was kidnapped by Ravan, how did she also manage to stay there with maintaining all the calm and composure? Ravan had many curses on him. So one of the curses that also safeguarded Sita was the curse which was given to him by his own nephew. Yes, so Ravan was not a very ethical man. Even the golden Lanka that he possessed, that he's still known for, actually belonged to his brother Kuber. Kuber's son Nal Kuber was about to get married to a beautiful woman, but Ravan had set his eyes on her and he raped her. Yes, so he was also a serial rapist because this is not the only rape he committed. This is the reason why Ravan's character as a demon is still today seen with a lot of disrespect. Like people might praise him for certain things, but they always remember him for being this person who did not respect women at all. But interestingly, his own wife Mandodari was quite strong-headed and confident. She was just not scared of Ravan. On the contrary, while Sita was in Ashok Vatika in Lanka, every time that Ravan would go to disturb her or trouble her or scare her, Mandodari would enter into the scene and she would scare him off literally or scold him away. She would remind him of all the curses and she would tell him a lot of things, and thus she was also playing an important role. Another divine feminine but married to the demon lord, but she was playing a very amazing, beautiful role in protecting Sita. It's so beautiful to see that a woman who is a tapaswini, even though she is the wife of a demon, she knows how to protect another woman. She could have gotten jealous, or she could have, misunderstood the whole thing, or she could have blamed Sita, or she could have done a lot of other things which normally we see negative characters or distorted feminines do. But she was definitely also a divine feminine who was doing her tapasya. So she was not scared of speaking the truth. That's number one. Number two is the actual curse of Nal Kuber was after he found out what his own uncle has done. He was so furiated, he was so upset, and he was so angry. His anger was so justified that his curse really had a lot of power. He told Ravan that if you are going to approach any woman without her consent, even if you try to touch her, your head will blow up into pieces. By this time, Ravan also had a pile of other curses because in his arrogance, he was disrespecting a lot of people. So with Sita ji, he was extra careful because he didn't want to die. Secondly, he was a coward. He was a coward, otherwise he would not have kidnapped the wife of another man. And especially when he knows that they love each other so much. The third thing about Sita ji is her own divinity. She was so powerful that Ravan, who was the king of illusion, who was the creator of illusion, which we call Maya Nagari today. Even today it's known as Maya Nagari, but 50 years back this name was more prevalent and common. Nowadays we call it Bollywood, or we call it the movie world, or the cinema world, the commercial cinema world. So he was the creator of it, and he had also created some other pieces like that which are still appreciated by many people. As an artist, people used to appreciate him. People still appreciate him, but not completely, not for all his work, but for certain parts of his work, which reflected some kind of devotion and surrender to Lord Shiva. Sita herself was so powerful, and Ravan knew about it. He did not want to mess with her. So he tried to be nice to her, polite to her, and he tried a lot of other things to confuse her. But she was solid on her ground. He even tried to show her illusions via vision, where it would appear for real that something wrong has happened to Ram and Lakshman. But Sita was so smart that she would always catch it, and she would call him out for trying to fool her. So she was extremely strong as well. So Mandodari was also there, and there were some other demonesses also, who though they were demonesses, but they were really loving and kind. And one such demoness was Trijata. She really took care of Sita like she would take care of her daughter. So they say, if you are a person who's true to their mission, if you are a person who believes in the benevolent path, if you are the person whose heart is full of compassion, you are empathetic towards other people as well and other beings as well, if you are a nature lover, you can also develop all of these qualities because they exist in some people's DNA. Some people who are divine beings, or who are also a part of some kind of divine play, who are also probably here to assist. They could be assistants of Vishnu and Lakshmi, and they could have been reincarnated too at a certain time, specific time, to help earth flourish and grow. So a lot of these qualities that Lord Sri Ram and Sita reflect are seen in a lot of people who are devoted to them, or who are devoted to the path of unconditional love and service to mankind. So both of them were strong in whatever they were doing, and they were also deeply committed to each other. Whether they were physically together or not, but in their minds, in their hearts, and in their souls, they were always connected. And that gave them another level of power, which was full of grace and very protective. But mind you, Lord Sri Ram was not a person who would just sit and only miss Sita as a romantic husband. No, he was a warrior, and he was a true lover. He did not want to only remember Sita as his wife who is like singing or dancing or happy with him, not only just the happy moments, the smiles, the giggles, the comfort zone. No, he loved her in or through thick and thin. Whether they were facing challenges, he loved her the same way, or maybe more. So he did everything that he could in his power. And if you look at the process of how he reaches Lanka, it is just brilliant. From one person to another, from one person to another. That's how he kept getting information. And he was not even wearing shoes or sandals, he was on foot. Both the brothers, and look at the devotion of Lakshman, look at his magnanimous, giving character, caring character, and his loyalty. He is the hugest when it comes to loyalty. And of course, Lord Hanuman. But when we look at Lakshman, he would never, ever, ever not do anything if not serve his brother. Like this type of brotherhood also is rare. But it reflects in all those people who work on their solar plexus. When you work on your solar plexus, it heals your family relationships also. It heals so many parts of your relationship with other people. Different types of relationships. It will heal all of them one by one, step by step, or sometimes percentage wise. Now today I have shared this part with you. I will keep coming up with more. I read a lot of things on Quora, and it's like very interesting application. I really enjoy it, and there's a lot of information also on it, and there are some really intelligent people who post stuff for the public, for everyone to read and for everyone to enjoy, and for everyone to learn from. It's like a self-sustained information bank. So this is where I'm going to close this video. If you want to get personal sessions, and if you want to study metaphysics, Indian metaphysics from me, You can write to me at thesunamoon@gmail.com. I have not yet shared much details about the metaphysics classes or the course because I'm looking for people who are genuinely interested in learning about it and also looking at it from a scientific perspective, like a scientist, like a nature scientist. So thank you so much for being here with me. One love, peace out, and Jai Shri Ram.